Heartland Highways is made possible in part by Consolidated Communications, offering customers high-speed internet, phone service, and digital TV service packages that include high-definition channels, DVR, and hundreds of sports, movies, and music channels. More information on these services available at consolidated.com.
Country music fans, this week's edition of Heartland Highways is for you. Come along as we take you to 3 country Opries.
First, we'll visit Altamont, Illinois, where a former church is home to a Tuesday night country and bluegrass show. Then we'll travel to Edgewood, where Bob Ingram and his wife Vicki have run this popular music venue for more than 20 years.
And finally, in Bement, another husband and wife team work together to bring a weekly country music show to this small community.
Don't go away, those stories are coming up next.
Thanks for coming along with us this week. I'm Kate.
And I'm Lori. Today we're at the Doudna Fine Arts Center here on the campus of EIU.
This is the Dvorak Concert Hall where EIU students and faculty perform to the 600-seat capacity.
Now this hall is part of the original fine arts facility that was renovated and expanded in 2008. Now we thought this was the perfect location for today's show because it's all about music, specifically country music.
That's right. In our travels, we found a number of country Opries in small communities around our area.
This first location takes us to Altamont, Illinois, where a 1912 church is home to a Tuesday night gathering of music and friends. Located on Main Street is the former First Presbyterian Church. After closing in the early 1990s, a group of local residents came together with the idea to repurpose the building into a theater and music hall.
There were a group of people that saw the building, didn't want the building to go to waste, so they started the process of trying to purchase the building. So the building sat empty for about 6 years. It took that group that time to come up with the funds. When they finally did get the funds, they then started the renovation. We had a local contractor come in, and he did most of the work. He renovated the tin ceilings, redid all the woodwork. We refabbed a number of things, built the new entryway. Of course, we converted the stage from the altar area.
And since then, the church, now called the Altamont Living Museum, has played host to a variety of theatrical and musical venues.
4 times a year, we have a local theater group, Altamont Community Theater, ACT, ACT. We put on a show. Our high school uses this building, so the high school doesn't have to maintain a theater or whatever. And me being the theater teacher, kind of nice that I can step right into that. So we bus the kids up here, and we do 2 plays up here. Sometimes we have chorus. We'll do a show here. The junior high sometimes we'll do a show here. We have some traveling shows that come through, mostly bluegrass. Bruce Kessler and some other people will rent the place and they will have them come in. We've had rock bands, and we've had all sorts of things. We've actually had one group that came in and we took all the pews out, and they had kind of a dance slash best of the bands type thing. Just a little bit of everything.
It is through events, rental fees, grants, and donations that keeps the nonprofit Altamont Living Museum alive and maintained.
But we've been lucky enough that we've really lived up to the non-for-profit moniker that we usually are just a little bit in the black. You know, we've never tipped down into the red, but we just keep our head above water, and that's fine as long as we can keep the place going.
One regular event that brings people in each week is the Tuesday night Altamont Country Opry.
It's a down-home feeling. Everybody is friendly with each other. They all get along, and they come, and a lot of times they get talking so much you can't even hear the music, but that's all right. But it's just down-home music. That's what they like. you know, the days, what they call country's not really country. And so we try to stick to the old tradition.
The show itself starts about 7, but probably about 4:30, elderly people will start showing up. There's a pre-show at about 5 o'clock, and it's very kind of laid back. It's more of a variety show than anything else. But mostly it's elderly folks, although we do have some younger folks that come in and listen to the bluegrass in the country. A lot of the people, I would guess 50 to 75% of the people that are here on a regular basis are not natives of Altamont. They're people from small surrounding towns that kind of follow this group as they go around.
Chuck Levitt and his wife coordinate the event each week. His Long Branch Band is the Opry's house band.
It's some of the best music in the area. Some of the guitar players and other musicians are better than what you would see in a lot of places. They could probably make it in Nashville, I would think.
Yeah, we know just about any type of music. We play all types. In fact, my regular lead guitar player, he's played all over. He's one of the best, Buddy Osteen, and he's played all over. Buddy and myself, we've opened up for a lot of professional acts.
These talented musicians aren't the only performers on stage. The Opry has an audience participation format, meaning the stage is open to anyone who wants to sing or perform. Anywhere from 75 to 125 people come to the Opry each week to enjoy music and fellowship. The building's former life as a house of worship reminds many of another famous music hall, the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville.
That particular hall has the rounded pews much like this. It has the ceiling that's much like this. And the other thing that this has is it has a very live sound. It's a really good house to sing in.
Most of the people that we're affiliated with are Christian people. And it's just the atmosphere, and the acoustics are wonderful. I mean, you really wouldn't need no amplification in here. But it's home. Put your mind when we were kids, you know what I mean? That's what the people like.
And one other thing that folks like, the original curved wooden pews, something that no one wants to change.
They've been here since the beginning. And a few years ago, we had some of our older patrons and other people saying, you know, 2 or 3 hours in those pews, it gets a little uncomfortable. And they were wondering about new chairs and things of that nature. We wanted to cater to our patrons, so we looked and we found a place in Springfield that had some theater-type chairs, fold-down chairs. And so we brought a section back and we let people look at them, and we asked the people what they thought, and especially the people at the Bluegrass. 12 to 1, they said, don't bring those in. We want the old pews to stay here.
And so no one gets too sore, the band takes an intermission and patrons head to the concession stand.
Actually, that's another thing that's kind of interesting. The older crowd, they're different from the younger crowd. When we have the younger shows, you don't see this. But when they start to show up, you'll see people bringing in pie or bringing in a cake or something, and then they share that. So it's really a gathering for these people. It's a way to see their friends and talk and catch up on the news and the gossip and those type of things.
Whether it's the Tuesday night Opry or other events throughout the year, the Altamont Living Museum provides a unique venue for the region. And with the continued support of faithful patrons, music and performance will always have a home right here in Altamont, Illinois.
But it really is a living museum because we have all sorts of things that we highlight here, from theater to music. It is a showplace for life in our town.
Southeast of Altamont is our next Opry destination. Edgewood, a small town of about 500, is home to a regular Friday night gathering. Now, we met Opry owner Bob Ingram over at the Altamont Opry. He invited us over one Friday night, so Kate and I took him up on his offer.
We have a lot of fun here. This ain't no dull deal. You'll see that.
Well, the crowd just appreciates everything. You can get up here and mess up and fall on your face and they'll still applaud. So, yeah, it's a unique place.
Like I said, you get hooked on it and you catch yourself every Friday night, it's not a question of whether you're going to go or not, you just go.
For a lot of these folks, Friday just isn't Friday unless you're at the Edgewood Opry.
But now I'm a honky-tonk girl. Miss you in the morning, miss you when the day is gone.
In 1985, Bob Ingram, who grew up in Edgewood, purchased a former creamery and grocery store building, and with the help of a neighbor lady, the Opry became a reality.
This building was about half this size at that time. And she gave me some ground next to her so I could extend the building on over. And I thought that was pretty sweet of her.
The building's expansion allows for seating of up to 300, and the large stage can accommodate a number of performers at once.
Me and my brother tore down an old barn out east of Edgewood and brought the lumber in here. And we had some help from Ron Gibbs from Olney. He kind of designed this thing for us, and he did a good job. He spent one day in here doing this, put this all together. So
Bob, who's played music most of his life, uses the Opry as a place to play his kind of music, but he doesn't take the spotlight for himself. That time is reserved for anyone who wants to perform.
we don't even try them out. They just come up and do their thing. You know, that 2 or 3 minutes that they're up here belongs to them. Mm-hmm. You know, if they just want 2 or 3 players to play, well, that's the way we'll do it. But that makes it work real well. You get like 25 or 30 across the night. Mm-hmm. So that's quite a few singers just to keep them moving. Sometimes they get 2 turns. Mm-hmm. But our players are basically, we got about 3 lead players that normally are here all the time.
I was playing at another little Opry, a little town not too far from here, and Bob Ingram was there. I didn't know him, he didn't know me, and when that was over with, he said, we're going to start something over at Edgewood, and he said, I don't know if anybody will be there or not, but it was going to be the next Friday night, and invited me over, and I did, and that was it.
There you go.
Got hooked on it right away.
It's not rehearsed. You know, like a lot of shows are rehearsed, you know what you're gonna do. So it keeps you on your toes. It's just a lot of fun.
There's a lot of different people come here, and young people, and they always make them welcome. When they get up here, good or bad, it don't make any difference, you know.
Regular players like Dan, Terry, and Larry back up the many singers and performers, but their talents are also featured in the show. On any given Friday night, you can of course hear country, but also a little bluegrass and gospel.
Well, it wouldn't take nothing for a journey now. Gotta make it to heaven somehow. Try to turn me around.
Bob's wife Vicki, on the left, is not only a singer, but also plays role of comic relief during the show, donning any number of wigs and costumes.
She's kind of the clown of the thing. She's always acting up, dresses up, does all kinds of stuff. We'll see what she does tonight. But she's a good singer. She's a good backup singer. And we've been married 20 years.
I play keyboard, piano, do some comedy, make coffee once in a while. Actually, I am the boss.
The Opry officially starts at 7, but fans show up early and grab a bite at the cafe that's next to the Opry. On this October night, the house is packed to capacity.
People that come, they love country music. Mm-hmm. And they sort of like the silliness that goes on here. It's informal, you know, and that makes it work. But they're just all a bunch of fine people. We never have any trouble here at all. It's just really a clean place to come.
So it's hard to find somebody to run one of these things and do it justice. Bob and Vicki have just done a superb job of running this thing, and and it's really worked out fine.
No smoking, no drinking, no charge.
It's run on donations only, and we have some good people that every week are faithful to come, and they just are good donators.
It's just been everything's worked out fine for us.
Over the past 20-some years of running the Opry, Bob and Vicki have only missed a few shows, but the Opry still went on. With help of friends and family, this Friday night event continues to be a place where friends gather for good music and good times. Want more information on the story you've just seen? Head to our website at weiu.net/hh. Check out our online episode gallery for past and present shows. Send us an email or find out how to contact the people and places we feature in the show. That's weiu.net/hh.
Finally, we headed to the Bement Country Opry straight south of Monticello. Owners Larry and Sandra Woolley took over the Opry in 2001, and since then have been drawing crowds from all over to see their shows. It's Friday night in Bement, Illinois, and all is quiet until... Welcome to the Bement Country Opry. The town may be small, but that doesn't stop the shows from being big.
We use a lot of local talent, area throughout the state of Illinois. Our show is every Friday night at 8 o'clock here at this facility. And we do also present special shows on Saturdays once in a while. For instance, we had a Branson act in, Wade Benson Landry, who is a Cajun fiddler, and he has his own show in Branson. Big music capital down there, you know, with a lot of country music going on. And the band usually backs the guests that come in, you know. And we also have another very special show coming in with Jeannie Seeley, Grand Lady of the Grand Ole Opry. And some of these Nashville acts, they're kind of particular about, you know, who's playing with them, and you know, how can you can you do the job that they want you to do, and so forth and so on. I have to say, I'm pretty proud of this group. I think we've got the best Opry in the area. Of course, I'm prejudiced too.
All prejudice aside, what Sandra may not tell you is that she's a pretty talented and award-winning musician herself. She owns the Opry along with her husband Larry, but somehow manages to find time to play in the house band too.
Every single one of the members of the band are seasoned musicians. They've been playing for a long time. A lot of us have been playing together as long as 10 years or more. I play the lead guitar, and gosh, I've been playing for, well, I can't tell you exactly how long because that would tell my age. But oh, I'd say 35 years or longer, you know. We've had this Opry for 9 years here. And I was a member of this band about 3 years before we owned the show. And then I have a steel guitar player, and he comes from Indiana, drives all the way over from Indiana. It's about 100 miles one way every Friday night he's here. Leon Mercer is his name. Our bass player is Kenny Honecker, who is a Bement resident. He lives right here in Bement. Our drummer is Mike Brake. He comes from Fisher, Illinois. And he drums and sings. His wife also sings a little bit and plays piano and fills in when we need her help. We have a couple of girl singers, Heather Bradford, who I believe is 19, and I have another young girl, Mariah Henderson from Decatur, who is a singer. She's just turned 16, I believe. And we have a comedian, MC guy that always, as you will see, will kind of open the show for us and get the crowd revved up and moving and going, and his name is Steve Ingram, and he lives in Decatur, and he is actually a preacher.
I was a prune tester. Kitty. Well, I seen you work one day and you're off too.
And that's just one of his jokes. The laughs keep coming all night long in true entertainment fashion. Also in true entertainment fashion are the acts the Bement Country Opry brings in, from local and Illinois musicians to big names from Nashville and Branson, including the special guest during our visit, Linda Thomas.
Heartache number one is when I never knew that I could hurt this way.
Linda's, she's from Hopedale area, Hopedale, Illinois. Me and Linda have worked together for almost 20 years, and because we were on another Opry show in Illinois together for a long time. So we're kind of old buddies, and that's kind of the way it is with a lot of the guests that come in. We've had, you know, the opportunity to be around these guests and know these people for so long that they're just like friends when they come in. It's kind of like a party for us too.
And the same goes for the audience that comes for the show every Friday night.
It's like a big family. They know that Friday night is Opry night, and they get to come and see all of us, and we get to see them and visit, and a lot of the people in the audience, so at halftime they'll go around and talk to each other and visit with each other, so it's kind of like a big family reunion every week, you know?
And what draws people here isn't just good music and good company, it's also an appreciation for being able to see a high-quality show close to home.
We don't get to bring in people, Nashville acts every week, because it just costs too much, you know. And that's one of the things that we hear from our customers. They like to be able to come out and see a good show, good quality music, and enjoy the evening and not pay an arm and a leg for it, you know, and be able to afford to come in and go out and have a meal and come and see the show and not go home bankrupt, you know. So that's kind of what we try to do. We try to keep it a reasonable price for everybody and present a good country show for them.
For just $9, you can see a show and be part of the Bement Country Opry family for a night too. And Sandra says thanks to her and the band's love for good country music, if you can't make it this week, not to worry. They'll be around for a long time.
This is our fun thing, you know, and luckily we can make enough money to keep it moving, you know, keep it running, but we're not for sure getting rich off of it. You know, like I said, it's just such a blessing to be able to do something like this, you know. Not many people can say that they absolutely love getting up every day because they like their job. And I guess I'm one of the lucky ones, I can say that. And this is such a unique atmosphere because it is smoke-free and you don't have the alcohol to worry about or anything like that, you know, and people can come and enjoy it. And it's like I said, it's kind of like a big party every week. I like working out the music. I just like it all.
We hope you've enjoyed our tour of Country Opry's.
To learn more, just visit our website at weiu.net/hh.
From Dvorak Concert Hall at EIU, thanks for watching.
Is there a place we should see or a person we should meet? Well, tell us about it. Heartland Highways covers within a 200-mile radius of our home base in Charleston, Illinois. You can email us at heartlandhighways@weiu.net, call us at 1-877-727-9348, or send us a letter to 600 Lincoln Avenue, Charleston, Illinois, 61920. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Heartland Highways is made possible in part by Consolidated Communications, offering customers high-speed internet, phone service, and digital TV service packages that include high-definition channels, DVR, and hundreds of sports, movies, and music channels. More information on these services available at consolidated.com.
From Dvorak Concert Hall, thanks for watching. I looked like a dork. What am I doing going like this? Stories are coming up next. Now you? I got this memorized. We've gone through it so many times. Expanded in 2008. Now we thought this was you're ready to talk, all right? Stop talking. Okay. Now, we met owner Bob Ingram at the Edgewood. Got my Opry's mixed up. There's too many Opry's.
Owners Sandra and whoa, sorry.
Yeah, but if I go like this, I'm gonna smack her in the face.
I'll duck.